I'm going to try to make you a little video to try to explain some of the things we've been talking about on your mare. It's kind of hard to sit here on her back and do it and do everything like I normally do because I usually use two hands. But as you'll see, this inside rein is not tight, but it's doesn't really have slack. The outside rein does have slack, and I'm asking her to stay in the circle by just a slight tug, no pulling, just slight, that basically fingertip is all I'm asking her for. When you see that rein go tight, all I'm doing is putting a fingertip on it to remind her this is what I want you to do. You can also put this inside spur in her. Of course, I can't show you that, but you can move her over with that inside spur. So you turn her head. That's where I'm asking her with her spur, as well as the fingertip on the rein. That's what we want as far as softness. We want her to stay right there. We want her to keep her head down, and we want her to do what we're asking. Right here, it's kind of hard with just one hand, but right there is the softness I'm talking about, where she gives to me. I squeeze her with my calves and put a little bit of tension on the reins. I'm not pulling once again, but a little tension, and she gives to me. When she gives to me, I want to release her so that that's what she's looking for, and she continues to do it. When she gets a release, that is her reward, so that she gives me her head. And then the more she gives the head, the more she's going to travel that way. Let me see if I can switch over and do the other side for you so you can kind of see the other side as well. We're going to go to the right now, which once again, it's kind of difficult with just one hand. But same thing, we're just going to ask her to stay in the circle right here, and we're just going to ask her with the fingertips so that she stays in the circle. We can also push her with the foot. That gives her a little more bend. This is my spur in her. When I put my spur in her, I get more of her head. Anytime you're in a circle or pulling her into a turn or anything like that, of course, pulling is not the right word. We just want to gently ask. We don't ever want to pull. But when you get her in a circle, you always want to see the inside eye on the inside of your circle. See how we can see her eye. You can use your spurs, as I'm doing right now. That gives me more of her head. You can also use the fingertips on this rein to remind her. We're going to stop, and then we're going to squeeze with the calves and wait for her to, there we go, and then we release. So that's just a little bit of what I'm talking about with the softness. And then collection is when she travels with her head collected. See how she keeps her nose in and she gives her head to me? That's the collection that I'm talking about. The collection allows you to control the whole body, not just the front end. When you're collected around a barrel, I know you don't really, want to barrel race, you more want a trail horse, but just for example, when you're barrel racing, collection allows you to control the whole body around the barrel, and that gives you a solid fluid turn instead of your butt turning away from the barrel and just the head coming around the barrel. So hopefully that kind of explains it all better for you with me on her and kind of showing you, and maybe that kind of makes more sense than me trying to explain it in words. But I just thought I would send that to you, and hopefully that would help you a little bit.